Right then, hello everybody, and welcome to a brand new Planet Coaster 2 park series. And today we are starting my brand new park, Nexus Island. I am super duper excited to be starting this park. It's like a project that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. I did start part of it at Planet Coaster 1 and never finished it. That was sort of a mock up, and then I'd come back and do it again in Planet Coaster 2 when we have a bit more resources, more coaster type stuff like that. But of course, I'll kind of get the elephant in the room out of the way. I never got close to finishing Infinity Isles. To be honest, I hadn't uploaded an episode since I think February or March, and I just wasn't enjoying it, to be honest. I don't know if that could really be told. I feel like my sort of upload schedule I made, and how big and ambitious it was, especially for a first park. I think on hindsight now, I should have gone for something a bit more smaller scale while I sort of got to grips to learn the game again and get a lot better at it. And then I could have sort of gone from there. There's a few things that I did really like in that park, such as the Mac Hypercoaster that I built. I made a lot of changes to that off camera actually, and I ended up building an amazing layout, I would say. The Intamin Accelerator that I built was quite good. I did start building a Gertzlander Infinity as well, very similar to the Smiler. That was good fun as well, but it just really wasn't working for me too much. I wanted to start a new series, and I want to try and get a good stable upload schedule for this. I want to try and do one upload a month for this park as like a main episode, and then every now and again I am going to have uploads when I do finish a coaster or a ride. Just upload a simple POV for it, probably a couple of days after the episode airs. Just to give people that don't really want to sit here and watch me ramble like this and watch a time lapse, just get them a chance to watch the thing. Also, sort of get the chance to show off just the POV to a bit of YouTube as well, so maybe get a bit more engagement and reach as well. Because that's what the idea with this is. Of course, this is going to be a passion project for me, a massive passion project. I will go on about in detail a little bit in a minute what sort of is going on with it. But I also want to be, obviously, with this new rebrand that I've been doing as well, I do want to try and make this more of a professional, not a professional thing, but I definitely want to make this a bit more streamlined, have a very steady upload schedule, and know really what sort of my strengths are. And I just want to have a gaming series to go on the side of that, because I know what it has been for a while now. It's just been theme park vlog, off-road POV, theme park vlog, off-road POV, theme park vlog, theme, but like, I feel like it's probably, sorry, I should not be yawning yet. I've already been talking for like 2 minutes. It's I can understand that it's probably not the most interesting thing to say see the same content every single like week or whatever. For those of you that do sort of stick around and watch the videos every single week, I absolutely love every single. If there is some of you that do sit there and watch all my content, like not religiously, but if you sit there and enjoy my content and watch every single week, honestly, thank you from the bottom of my heart. But I think for me as well, for what I want to enjoy, I want to add a bit of variety into my schedule. So I'm going to try and I was going to try and do. I want to try and do an upload every Monday and Friday from now on. Maybe one week we'll have. But basically, the plan is Friday is going to be the big episode. It may be an episode of this series or Planet Coaster or a theme park ranking, or I might even get back into Brentford vlogging again. I'm not 100% sure at the moment because I did fall out of love with that a little bit. Or and then basically on the Monday, I think the point I'm trying to make, I can't remember. I'm rambling. I think on a Monday I want to try and have like a smaller video, like an off-road POV or an on-road POV of one of these like coasters or dark rides or log flume, whatever, that I build in Planet Coaster, whether it's a mini project I'm doing on the side or it's part of Nexus Island. That's enough rambling about my schedule. I've got about 6 minutes worth of footage of the time lapse to get through before the end of the episode. So I want to try and get to the key points, what people really want to hear for this. I'm planning to go for something that's really unique and something I haven't really seen done before in like the YouTube Planet Coaster scene. At least I hope it hasn't been done because then my kind of ideas gone in the bin. Basically, Nexus Island is, I don't know how to describe it. It's basically I'm taking loads of IPs from the Lego game Lego Dimensions, which was basically, if you don't know what it is, a massive Toys to Life game in 2015 to 2017. The game had support, and then they basically crossed over loads of franchises with each other. So, you had Knight Rider, Back to the Future, Goonies, Ghostbusters, Batman, Lego Movie, all sort of things like that, all culminated into one massive story. And there was loads of DLCs and side missions and whatever. And I just thought when I was making this idea about just over a year ago now, I started the first phase of this project on Planet Coaster 1. I believe I started it just before Planet Coaster 2 actually got announced, which has been crazy that it's been over a year now. But I was like, I started building it, and then Planet Coaster 2 got announced. I was like, I want to do a draft of this, and then I'll finish it in Planet Coaster 2. I, for some reason, expected for us to be able to port our parks over. That didn't happen. So I basically have to start from scratch. And we're starting off... This isn't going to be the first coaster in the park. I'm not sure where it's going to be located just yet. I think the position where it is now will be pretty similar to where it is going to be in the park layout. But this is a Vekoma mega coaster that's taken a lot of inspiration from Siren's Curse at Cedar Point, the tilt coaster. You know, I've taken a bit of inspiration from Conda at Wallaby, Wallaby Belgium, especially with sort of how the finale is. It's very quick and it has that like overbank into the brakes that you will see. I've taken inspiration from a couple of Vekomas, Conda, so on and so forth. Phoenix, whatever it's called. I think that's what it's called in Denmark, somewhere in Denmark. I can't quite remember. But I'm taking inspiration from a lot of things, and I basically want this to be a good, as you get in the park, this is a good sort of coaster to have towards the front. The plan is for it to sort of like, in terms of the park layout, it will sort of the tank and the queues, it'll be a popular attraction. It's going to have it's going to have like good solid airtime. It's going to have a couple of nice like weighty inversions, which you can kind of see so far. They've got that like dive loop, which I initially intended it for it to be like Siren's Curse dive loop, where it kind of goes up into an airtime hill, then drops into like the dive drop. This is going to be more of just a straight Smiler-esque sort of dive loop, where you just go straight into it, get that bit of weightlessness, and then you just drop straight down into the next part of the layout. It's not the most advanced layout, but the problem that I have, this is about the 5th or 6th version of the layout that I've built now in the last 2 weeks, while I've been trying to prep to get this video ready. The problem I have is I feel like it was too big as a scale. I don't want it to be massive. As you can see from like the layout, it's not ridiculously huge. It's not too big of a footprint compared to like if I was to build like an Intamin mega coaster, which would probably be like Hyperion or Conda. It'd be like ridiculous how big that thing would probably be footprint. I want it to kind of stay in its own area. It's probably going to go around most of the area. The area that it's going to be in won't be much bigger than this. I'm not going to say what that is at the moment, purely for the fact of... Actually, no, I'm going to leave it for now, and I'm going to let you guys in the comments guess what you think it's going to be. You will quickly see at the end the color of the track and what the trains look like. If you are like a film, TV, game buff, you might get it if you're not like very knowledgeable with Dimensions franchises, but I think it's quite a niche one in terms of modern culture. It's not something that's been around for a long time now. So that's all the hits I'm going to give. I'm not going to say any more. So remember I said with Adventure Isle, I was going to say I was going to do this ride. I'm not going to tell you what it is. And then about 10 seconds later, I said what it was. So I'm going to not get into that risk of that. I've been rambling for 8 minutes now, and I didn't even realise. I think I've gotten over most of the points I want to be honest. I'm going to be following the same sort of like time-lapse structure with voiceovers, and there'll probably be like some theme park music playing in some of the other episodes as well. I'm going to try and do one upload a month. I don't want to wear myself out by trying to push myself to do one every 1 or 2 weeks. I feel like the amount of time it's going to take, along with like work and, just other being busy in life, really. I feel like I don't want to push myself to get these videos out and they're not the finished product. My plan is, if I'm building a coaster, the whole episode will be the coaster build, and then I'll have like a theming episode after. The next episode won't be theming this coaster. Instead, we will be doing the entrance portal. I have started work on that already, but I just want to I'll do the framework, and then I'll finish off the chunk of it in the episode, so you've still got something to watch on the time lapse. I don't think I've got too much more else to say, to be honest. I built this version of the layout I built in a couple of hours, which I'm quite happy with. I spent a good solid 45 minutes probably just smoothing out the ride, because the G-forces were so... For some reason, I changed something. I can't remember what it was, but the G-forces just rose. It was in like a 4.6 or 4.7 for a minute. But it's not the end of the world if it reaches that for only like a split second, but I kind of want to keep it down as much as possible. Which is why I have actually added those trims onto that airtime hill, just because it was hitting like 4.7, 4.8 going around that turnaround before it goes into that like twisted airtime hill. I'm going to show you a POV of this in a couple of seconds to sort of wrap off the episode. It's not the finished product yet. I will make slight adjustments to the profiling and the smoothing, so do bear in mind the ride is not quite finished yet. Of course, it will have theming as well. But I think that's all I wanted to say for this episode. Thank you so much for watching and listening to me ramble for the last 8 minutes. Did you enjoy? Please like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.